Hi there, I'm Lauren Crawford, senior yoga teacher and office worker. I have a daytime job, so like many of you, I'm working from home these days. And in speaking with some of my colleagues, it became clear that a lot of us don't really have a good regime in terms of setting ourselves up for working from home. It's a whole different kettle of fish. I have a desk set up and a pretty ergonomically effective chair, but even with that, I need a little bit of support along the way. So I'm going to give you a mini tutorial on some things that you can do yoga-wise that may help you as you're working from the office. So you can take your seat away from your desk, plant your feet firmly on the floor in front of you, and allow yourself gently to fold forward, just letting your hands float down your legs and letting yourself bow forward essentially. And then inhale yourself back up. So the exhalation is going to float you down, give your lower back a nice long stretch. And the inhalation is going to bring you back up. That's engagement of the back, helping to contract and activate the muscles. So folding forward on the exhale, and I'm going to suggest you keep your chin in so you don't push your chin up as you go forward. Just keep the chin in a neutral position. So you can do this a few times and then come to sit back up. Then maybe the hips get a little bit stiff from sitting all the time. So here's a nice little hip opener. Cross one of your legs onto the other thigh. So ankle on the thigh. And flex that foot so the toes point back towards the knee. And maybe just a little bit of a press, a little micro movement there, and then release. So exhale a little press, inhale, release. Exhale a little press, inhale, release. Some of you who are more flexible, there'll be more mobility. For a lot of us, it's going to be pretty rigid in there. Good. And then you can stay there for an extra breath or two and then change sides. Opposite ankle on the thigh, flexing into the foot. And again, just a little press on the exhalation and release. That's optional though. Okay, so do that equal number of times on this side and then pause and hold for those extra breaths at the end. Very good. And then you can place your feet back on the mat or on the floor, hip width apart. So we can also work a little bit with some twisting here. So I'm just going to turn back towards my desk. I have handles on my chair, so I can just take my hand to one side on the handle and gently twist open. If you happen to not have handles, just turn to the side of your seat and take the back of the chair and gently twist. And the twist here is about the abdomen. It's not about forcing the shoulders. And I'd also invite you to keep the spine nice and tall. So I keep my spine tall and I just twist a little bit from the abdomen. So I'm not kind of rolling forward and scrunching. Keep it nice and tall. And then hang out there for a few breaths. You can come in and out of it dynamically, exhaling, twist, inhales, back to the front, exhale, twist. You can do it dynamically for a few times and then just stay in it for a few breaths. Take your gaze out past that top shoulder, a couple breaths there, come back to the center, and then doing the other side. So again, just hanging onto the handle, or if you need to move to the side of the chair, take hold of the back of the chair, exhale, and inhale. Exhale and inhale, maybe 3-4 times, and then staying for those last few breaths, again, making the abdomen the focus of the twist. That's great. And you can stay there for a few breaths, come back to the center. Breath work is essential for yoga. Let's combine some shoulder and breath work. First of all, just give your shoulders a little roll forward, up, back, and down. Make sure you're breathing while you do this, so inhaling and exhaling. And you may notice a lot of tension. What happens is we get like this, right? We let this all collapse and we're working on our keyboards and we forget, oh my gosh, I have a chest. So when we start to roll it open, it can feel really kind of scrunchy and knotted up. So just get into doing that regularly, a few times a day. And what's going to happen is you'll start to open up the collarbone area, the upper chest, and that's really good. Because when we're like this, what ends up happening is we have these wispy little breaths. And for the autonomic nervous system, that means you're probably working more on the sympathetic side, which is the fight or flight side. When we can get this nice and open and draw the breath deep in towards the belly, we have deeper, richer breaths, and that can take us more into the parasympathetic side of the autonomic nervous system. And that's the rest, digest, healing side. So for all like this, not so good. So do those shoulder rolls. And then what I was going to suggest with the breath is you can interlace your fingers, press up and away as you exhale, and then inhale and let the hands come down towards the crown. So that's the inhalation. The exhale pushes up. You draw the abdominal wall back. The inhale takes the hands back down. Do that a few times. Exhale, inhale. In yoga, we're doing the breath through the nose. A couple more. Nice way to link movement and breath. That will really help you to get your mind nice and calm. Lastly, I'll show you one standing thing that you can do. So you come to stand, park your chair at your desk, stand at the back of your chair, nice and tall, connect to the four corners of your feet, nice strongly engaged pelvic region. And then from here, lift one of the legs up and back. And keep the foot flexed so the toes stay pointing forward. Draw the heel up and back and release. And what this is going to do is start to engage those lower back muscles. So sitting all the time is anathema to healthy posture, right? So we need to make sure we're doing some back bends to counter all that sort of static folding that we're doing when we're sitting. So a few on each side, so 4 or 5, right? And you may really feel, it's a small range of motion, but you'll probably really feel that engagement of the lower back muscles, that activation of those muscles. That's important. Let's do that. And then lastly, a good thing to do yogically is to look away from the screen. You can take your gaze far, and then we'll do a little bit of eye yoga. So look up into the right corner if there's corners in your eyes, and then down towards the lower corner. Look up towards the far corner and down towards the upper corner. Do that again. Right upper corner, left lower, left upper, right lower. And then let your eyes just gently gaze forward, and you can take your palms and ever so gently just palm your eyes. You're not pressing. It's just like this gentle little massage on the surface of the eyes to relieve some tension, right? Leave the eyes gently closed, release your palms to your thighs, sit quietly. And just focus on the breath for a minute or two, watching the breath move in and out of the nostrils. A simple little seated meditation, nothing fancy or dramatic. Watching the breath moving in and out of the nostrils. Mind wanders off, just pull it back. And after you've done that, lower your chin, gently open your eyes, come back. That's great. Namaste. Hope that was helpful for you and worthwhile. And if you'd like to know more, you can reach out to me. Thank you. Have a great home working experience. We'll get through all this together.